Good morning. We are Jesús Barranquero, Ignacio López, Javier García, Adrià Belda, and me, Javier García, and we're going to present the quantitative methods in Starbucks management. In the first place, I will proceed with a brief description of the context where the QM was applied. The context in which this example takes place is after the financial crisis of 2008. Howard Schultz took the company over this year. Before this year, the company had linear growth in the number of stores, but after it, the opening of new stores stagnated until 2012. In the second place, I will explain the objectives of the method. The main objective of this method was to minimize the cost after the financial crisis. The company was in need of remodeling its corporate strategy, as its operating margin had dropped significantly in 2008 from 11.2% to 4.9%. Improving the strategic location of its stores, it aimed at better results so as to retain the trust of the shareholders.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a brief presentation of this quantitative method. First of all, the preparation of this method. Howard was able to approach the real estate investment decisions to an analytical field, making sure that each Starbucks shop was strategically located in places where the potential profit was high. For doing so, Starbucks partnered up with Esri, an international supplier of geographical information system software. And Esri provided Starbucks with a technological platform. This platform was called Atlas, and it was used to analyze maps and retail locations. The data under analysis, also known as spatial data, were population density, average income, demographic distribution of traffic patterns, among many others. So, how was this method created? The analytics expertise implemented a combination of predictive and prescriptive analytics, and Atlas provided the spatial data on a map. Thus, the expert could determine the average estimated customer count and spend, layering each variable in the top of the other for determining profitability rates of each geographical zone. And now, Adrià is going to continue with the explanation of this method.
Well, to know how the model worked in general terms, we have to first understand the types of layers the company used to plot data. These were four. First of all, the geographic layer, which said where the potential shop is going to be located. Next, the attributes layer, which described how is the place and the people there. Following this, we have the geometric layer that said how is the space in which we want to locate the shop. And lastly, the company designed the topological layer, which explained factors such as the accessibility and connectivity. Then the company was able to plot the data in a map through the following process. First, collect the data and layering, then reclassify the layers into a meaningful range of values, and create and compare this data with a suitability index. Lastly, overlaying the layers and calculation the sustainability index. As a result, when opening a new store, the company could determine its economic viability according to the model.
I'm going to focus on the description of the results of the appliance of this quantitative method. So first of all, we should highlight that the stores that were open did fetch high margin and high return on assets. The operating margin grew from 4.9% in 2008 to 19.59% at the end of the first quarter of 2016. Moreover, the return on assets improved from 3% in 2008 to 21% in 2016. Not only that, but the strategic location of the stores have allowed Starbucks to locate more than one store close to each other in some areas, obviously having each one of them a positive profitability, and preventing cannibalization of sales from happening from the different nearby stores. Now my colleague Jesus is going to explain a bit further the pros and cons of the application of this quantitative method.
Hi, I will talk about the pros and cons of the application of this quantitative method. We can state as pros the results we explained before, as the biggest advantage when using this method of geographic data analysis is that you can estimate the profitability of a store in a certain place without the need to open the physical store and see its results. This is a great advantage since you can save the cost of opening a store that will not be profitable in the future. When focusing on the cons of the application of this quantitative method, Starbucks outsources some of its data management and uses in-house capabilities to manage other sets of data. So this might lead to inconsistencies in data formats. Another significant issue for organizations is the IT infrastructure necessary to support big data analytics initiatives. Other disadvantage is that there may be some variables which are not included in the model since they are harder to measure. One example is personal preferences. They can cause that a store doesn't achieve its expected results. Thanks for your attention and goodbye.